Throughout history, conflicts have shaped the world in ways both visible and hidden. Wars and disputes are often attributed to power, territory, or ideology. The deeper reasons behind many historical conflicts remain obscured by time. Beneath the surface of political struggles and military confrontations lie unseen forces, economic ambitions, personal vendettas, cultural misunderstandings, and even sheer accidents of fate that have driven humanity into battle. One of the most significant yet overlooked causes of conflicts is the pursuit of resources. From the earliest civilizations, access to fertile land, water, and trade routes has been a determining factor in both alliances and wars. The Peloponnesian War, often seen as a battle between Athenian democracy and Spartan oligarchy, was also a struggle for economic dominance over trade networks. The same applies to the colonial conquests of the European empires, where nations justified their invasions with noble rhetoric while secretly seeking control over gold, spices. Please subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for new updates and precious minerals. Religious conflicts have often been framed as struggles of faith, but many had underlying political and economic motivations. The Crusades, for example, were not merely battles between Christianity and Islam, but were also fueled by European rulers seeking land, wealth, and trade dominance in the East. The 30 Years' War, widely considered a religious conflict between Catholics and Protestants, was equally a contest for European political supremacy. Nationalism and the creation of artificial borders have sparked countless conflicts. The breakup of empires, from the Ottoman to the Austro-Hungarian, left behind deeply rooted tensions that erupted into wars. The arbitrary borders drawn by colonial powers in Africa and the Middle East ignored ethnic and tribal divisions, creating lasting instability. The partition of India in 1947, framed as a religious separation, was exacerbated by hasty political decisions, leading to mass violence and displacement. Another hidden factor behind historical conflicts is the role of misinformation and propaganda. Many wars were ignited by exaggerated threats, deliberate lies, or the manipulation of public sentiment. The Spanish-American War of 1898 was largely driven by sensationalist journalism that falsely accused Spain of sinking the U.S. Maine. Similarly, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which led the United States deeper into the Vietnam War, was based on misleading reports of an attack that never actually occurred. Personal rivalries and individual ambitions have also been catalysts for major conflicts. The Napoleonic Wars were not solely about France's political system, but were driven by Napoleon's personal quest for dominance. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914 set off World War I, not just because of nationalist tensions, but also due to complex personal and political entanglements among European monarchies. Adolf Hitler's deep-seated grievances and ideological obsessions played a crucial role in the outbreak of World War II. Economic downturns and financial crises have frequently led to conflicts. The Great Depression of the 1930s destabilized many countries, fueling the rise of fascist leaders who promised economic recovery through militarization. Japan's expansionist aggression in the early 20th century was partly driven by a need for resources to sustain its growing economy. The American Civil War, often attributed solely to slavery, was also influenced by economic disputes between the industrial North and the agrarian South. Sometimes, wars have erupted due to sheer accidents and miscalculations. The First World War, for example, was triggered by a series of diplomatic blunders and misinterpretations of threats. The Cuban Missile Crisis, though it did not lead to war, came dangerously close to global conflict because of miscommunication and misunderstandings between the United States and the Soviet Union. Technological advancements have also played a role in escalating conflicts. The invention of gunpowder changed medieval warfare, shifting power dynamics between nations. The development of nuclear weapons created a new era of strategic tensions, leading to the Cold War's numerous proxy battles. The digital age has introduced cyber warfare, where misinformation and hacking can be just as effective as traditional military strategies. Technological advancements have also played a role in escalating conflict. The invention of gunpowder changed medieval warfare, shifting power dynamics between nations. The development of nuclear weapons created a new era of strategic tensions, leading to the Cold War's numerous proxy battles. The digital age has introduced cyber warfare, where misinformation and hacking can be just as effective as traditional military strategies. Cultural misunderstandings have often contributed to conflicts as well. When European settlers arrived in the Americas, their inability to comprehend indigenous cultures led to violence and displacement. The Opium Wars between Britain and China were partially fueled by differing views on trade ethics and sovereignty. Even the conflict between the United States and Japan during World War II was influenced by deep-seated cultural differences in military strategy and surrender expectations. The psychology of fear and perceived threats has been a major driver of wars. Leaders have historically used the fear of an external enemy to unite their people and justify aggressive actions. The Red Scare in the United States led to interventions in Korea and Vietnam based on the exaggerated fear of communist expansion. The War on Terror following the 9/11 attacks was driven by both genuine security concerns and the exploitation of public fear for political gain. Looking back, history reveals that no war is ever fought for a single reason. While official narratives often highlight noble causes, defense of freedom, protection of sovereignty, or the pursuit of justice, the underlying realities are far more complex. Understanding these hidden causes can offer valuable lessons for the future, reminding us that conflicts are rarely inevitable and that the pursuit of peace requires recognizing and addressing the true motivations behind human strife.